Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking you on an inside and outside video tour, a full video tour of this 2016 Coachmen Mirada 35BH floor plan. I'll show you a picture of the floor plan and I'll show you the specifications here. But this is a bath and a half bunkhouse motorhome with a bunkhouse slash convertible closet. It's a very nice motorhome, very clean, shiny motorhome, looks really good. And this one, we picked it up with only 6,000 miles on it for our dealership. We went all completely through it, did an overhaul on it to make sure it's like new, ready to go to the campground immediately. So you shouldn't have to whip out your checkbook for anything other than paying for it. But after you bring it home, fill it up with food, put your clothes and your blankets, and head for the campground. This video was shot in July 2020, towards the end of the COVID-19 scare. We've been selling out on our motorhomes lately because people have been planning their vacations and kind of cruise ships have been off the table. European vacations have been off the table. But motorhomes like this are a great option because you have a self-contained vacation and you can use it for years to come. So when you start comparing your monthly payment to hotel rooms and airfare and hospital stays if you get sick and all those things, having your own floor that you keep clean to your own standards without other people around, it's kind of nice. So the motorhomes have been really popular this year. Now this one is a 35BH. This is my favorite floor plan because it has a rear full bathroom with a giant shower and then a forward guest bathroom. So if you have guests, they can have their own bathroom or their own restroom, to be specific. There's one shower inside. It does have an outside shower capability. And then this is your large passenger side slide out because it has bunk beds. And I'm going to go inside. I'm going to show you. These are closet or bunk beds. You can have it closet or bunk bed. So if you don't have any kids to stay in the bunks, some people keep pets in their bunks, you know, the kennels, but other people just want to hang clothes in there. And this has the flexibility. It can do both. It has mega storage on the outside. Now some RVs have plastic roto-molded storage compartments, but this one has a heavy-duty steel, sturdy steel constructed storage. So if you throw a couple of golf cart batteries in here that weigh 100 pounds each, they're not going to go through the floor because this is strong. Those roto-molded plastic are nice because they don't rust, but then when you go driving through the desert in the summertime, that plastic gets really soft and brittle, and if there's anything heavy in there, it'll fall right through onto the roadway. You won't have that problem with something like this. Now this right here is an inverter. This has a high-powered 1,000-watt inverter. What is an inverter? It's something that takes the RV's, you know, the automotive batteries in an RV and converts it to 110 volt power. And this one has it to run a large residential refrigerator. It has a much larger fridge inside. Another reason why it's one of my favorites. As that big old residential refrigerator, it has a power operated main awning. This is a shorter awning. Some of them are 20 feet long. This is like a 12 footer. So it's more wind resistant being a little bit smaller, but it has to be a little bit shorter because your side is taken up by the slide out. We have a glossy mirror finish exterior. This is partial body paint. It's not full body paint, it's partial body paint, but it's full body graphics. As I get the camera really close, the graphics are in like brand new condition as the rest of the motorhome is as well. You have side view cameras right here. These are cameras. So when you turn on your turn signal, you get a side view of if there's cars beside you. And then of course there's a backup camera in the back. You got these big heavy-duty towing mirrors. So if you see this big vehicle, you think it might be hard to drive, but it's actually as easy as driving a car, almost. pretty easy to drive. Women can drive these, no problem. Small women, you know, 90-pound women can drive them, no problem. Like a little old lady retired, or a nice young wife, whoever. Men can drive them, it doesn't matter. Anyone can drive one of these. If you have a car, driver's license, you don't need a special license. So just a regular automobile driver's license and you can operate it. Those big heavy mirrors, towing mirrors help. Side view cameras help. And they have very impressive headlights on these. These actually have these halos. I'll flash you a picture of what I'm talking about, but the halo LED glows around the perimeter of the headlight. It's very modern looking headlights. When you pull up at the campground and your halos are glowing, people say, "Ooh, is that a new one?" And they'll see how shiny it is. Looks good. This is a 2016, so it's not very old. And this floor plan, if you buy a brand new one, they cost about $125,000. There's special things you need to note. I'm going to show them and then I'm going to go inside. If you want to fast forward to the inside, and then later I'm going to go on the roof. I'm going to peek underneath. So this has a bath and a half. This is the dump station for the rear bathroom and shower. Look how clean it is in there. This has been fully detailed, but we started with something that was in really good shape to begin with. That was almost brand new with only 6,000 miles on it. It's got LED lighting in all the compartments. There's a factory installed LED lighting. So if you forget to turn it off, it's not going to kill your battery. Not immediately. Big 50 amp power cable. We have the bigger, better, quieter generator. This is the Onan 5500 Cummins generator. This is the top of the line industry standard generator for gas motorhomes. Now I'm going to point something out. This RV comes with a special attachment for the generator. It comes with a snorkel kit. So it has in one of the compartments as a snorkel, which takes your exhaust and turns it into a vertical smokestack. So if you're in a camp area where you want to run the generator and there's not much wind, the generator exhausts straight up, so it doesn't bother other people if you want to run the generator. That is like a $150 feature or more. They're not cheap, but this one is included. And then in this compartment is your main dump station for the front bathroom and the kitchen sink. So it has 2 black tanks and 2 gray tanks. It has a full RV water filtration system. Again, LED lighting. Here's your outside shower. So if you go to the beach and you got sand all over you, you could, or dirt bike riding, or you know, getting all dusty and dirty before you go inside and contaminate the inside of the RV, you can hose off outside in the parking lot. Get all that sand off so you don't bring it into the inside. But this is your main hookup. Low point drains, your water pump and everything is in this compartment. This RV comes with all your hookups. So your water, sewer hoses, your electrical is present. I already showed you that. But this has full pass-through storage to the other side. The mega storage compartment goes all the way through, so your big picnic tables, and you could bring a portable picnic table, fold it up and put it in here. This is giant storage. There's very few gas motorhomes that have storage this big. So there's a lot of capacity for bringing all your stuff. The front one is your hydraulics. It's not very old, so the tires are in great condition. Now I bought this unit in Florida and drove it to California. It drove really nice and quiet. I don't want to take too long on the video, but people do compliment the detail that I go into to be thorough. So you can always fast forward if you want to skip a part. This is a power awning. There's a control on the inside. It operates from the inside. Automatic step, fully automatic leveling jacks. Very nice motorhome. Let's go inside, take a look. Let's go take a look inside the 35BH. As we come inside, this is a very large interior open floor plan. center aisle floor plan with bunk beds. And this one is unique because it's got the queen sofa bed in the front, the very large oversized horseshoe dinette, which has 3 seat belts here, 3 more seat belts in the sofa, 2 seat belts in the front. So that's 2, 6, 8 total seat belts. And so there's 8 seat belts in the RV. You have the bunk bed over here. Now this bunk bed turns into a closet. So it's either a closet or a bunk bed. So if you don't have any kids to sleep here, this cushion pulls out of the way and the lower bunk lifts up and locks into this pin and sits behind. So then this turns into a full closet. So if there's no kids to ride around in the bunks, maybe they grow up while you own the RV and get older, and then sooner or later you bring the grandkids, or if you already occasionally have the grandkids, you just want more closet space. This is a convertible bunk, but it's all ready to go. It's got 2 HD TVs with DVD players built in. It's got curtains you can close off, and it's got these wood panel doors that you can close off. Keep your clothes out of sight, out of mind if you're going to use it as a closet. I've met some people, they just want the bunk bed so they can put dog kennels in there. This one looks like it's never been used. It looks like brand new in here. Like somebody bought it, they just didn't get the use they hoped for. So we're inside a building right now, and while this TV is showing the screen, we did a scan for channels to see how many channels we could pick up. We picked up 129 channels from inside the building off the rooftop antenna. So it's a very powerful ability to receive TV channels from over-the-air broadcast. So crystal clear HD picture over the air. And this RV, I'm going to show you underneath, but this has a lot of storage in this RV. You got 2 bathrooms, and you have so much storage compared with others, possibly double the amount of storage. I took a picture on my travels of the inside of this cabinet here. This is a huge cabinet with bottled waters and big giant boxes of chips fit in here. The video doesn't do it justice. It's a very large amount of storage. And behind the TV, this TV opens up and you have additional storage. There's a box back there for showing you. There's a box in the, you have storage behind the TV. It's got a magnetic catch here to hold the door secure. Underneath the queen bed, it lifts up. And you have storage underneath. I have a light in my hand. The camera needs the help of the light. So you got carpeted storage underneath the bed, so your big linens or water, beer, whatever you want to put under there, dirty laundry. It's got lots of storage. A lot of RVs you go in and there is no storage under the bed because the bed is part of the slide out. But this one has storage there. Now Coachmen has what they call the center compartment over the queen bed. They call that for your CPAP machine. If you have a breathing issue and you have to use a CPAP machine, this compartment is designed that you could keep the CPAP machine inside to support you while you sleep on the bed. So this coach has a bath and a half, or you could call it 2 baths if you count the outside restroom, but officially you're not supposed to do that. Now right here is your shower in the back, and this is a huge shower. It's 3 feet by 4 foot shower. So I'm standing here against the wall, and look how much floor space. Easily you could fit 2 adults in the shower. That's pretty rare for RVs to be able to fit 2 adults. We added this state-of-the-art shower head. You got real wooden cargo doors. You've got a linen cabinet here that's almost, but not quite, big enough to put a washer and dryer unit in. This bathroom is big enough to have a washer and dryer in here, but this configuration doesn't allow for it. Plus it's a little bit heavy. Got a nice porcelain toilet there. All the interior has been professionally cleaned by a housekeeper. Stainless steel sink. You got 3 sinks in here. Big giant mirror. A lot of room to move around. A lot of windows. These wooden privacy doors, so when you close off, it's not some flimsy curtain. And then this is 2016. It's in really good shape. Already showed you the cabinetry. It's got a lot of storage. What I did not show you is these drawers are big and deep. They open up. Got a lot of room for clothes. I camped in this for over a week, and I bought it cold, unserviced, uninspected, checked it out, and now it's fully serviced and it's ready to go to the campground. This is your second bathroom. This is the half bath. So it has a porcelain toilet, so you got 2 toilets in here. This is your third sink. So this would be like your guest bathroom. So if you want to keep guests using this one up to the point where they take a shower. A lot of campgrounds though, they have showers that you can use. So you don't even have to have everybody use the shower in the RV. You can send the more strangers to your family into the campground bathrooms. All your leveling controls for your tank levels are right here with level testing and battery levels. There's 2 black tanks and there's 2 gray tanks. So the rear restroom has its own dump tanks, and the front restroom and kitchen have separate tanks. Now up here we have a full-size residential refrigerator while we're talking about the kitchen. Just for example, this is a 40-pack of bottled water. Look, your normal RV refrigerator, there's no way you could fit a 40-pack of bottled water in there, but this one, there you go. And your freezer up here. Double sets of long drawers. This is a larger refrigerator than they had. This Coachmen Mirada 35BH on the earlier years had smaller fridges. This is a larger fridge. You've got stainless steel appliances, including stainless steel oven, stainless steel microwave, a full-size microwave. It's not one of those little mini microwaves. This is a full, like a 2.5 cubic foot size microwave. Maybe 2 cubic feet. I don't have the exact specifications, but if you want to look up the model number, I'm going to zoom in on it right there, and you can Google to see how big it. But it's a big microwave. That's pretty much all you need to know. You've got a lot of storage cabinets in the kitchen. Some RVs are putting TVs in the kitchen, which means you're probably going to be buying a TV when some water goes flying or soda. There's no TVs and electronics in the way. Your TV's over here, which is for use in the campground. Otherwise, you know, bring your iPads, and everybody can use iPads nowadays when you're driving. Nice big storage compartments that slide open. Nice setup. There's additional drawer under here. Very deep extension. Your fuses and circuit breakers are right here, easy access if you ever pop one. Got 6 girls using hair dryers at the same time at full blast. Your circuit breakers are right there. Now we're going to look up for a minute at the lighting in here. This has LED lighting. These are built-in LED lights built into the coach. And then it's a very clean setup. There's additional speakers throughout the coach built into the headliner here. It's all in fantastic condition, the ceiling and everything. There's no evidence of any kind of leaks. And then you have this electric front bunk. So there's a switch over here. You hit the bunk drops down, and then you can sleep two people up here. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the front seat. This coach has dash fans, which is really convenient for defrosting the windows if you're driving in the wintertime. It's got a big power shade. So right here on the driver's seat, so we've got this power shade. So you got a seat control right here. Just hit the switch, and you can raise or lower this shade. Now this shade will only go down about 20% when you're driving, unless you turn the key off and lower it. But it'll go up as high as you want. So when I'm driving off into the sunrise or the sunset, you can lower this down to it's just above the horizon, and drive off into the sunset without blinding yourself, which is kind of nice because in the open plains it can be pretty hairy. Now you've got side view cameras, backup cameras. Let's turn this puppy on here. And what they do on this model is they give you a dedicated backup screen. Now we're inside my building here, so we've got a clear backup camera view, but as soon as I turn on the turn signal, now I've got my left side view with a clear picture, or I can turn on my right turn signal and we got the right side view. And what I'm going to point out, because it's not tied to the radio, you have a bigger LED screen, and it doesn't mess up your tunes when you engage the backup camera. Certain brands feed the backup camera to the dash radio, which means as soon as you put it in reverse, your tunes stop. That doesn't happen on this one, and you have an outside microphone for this, so you can pick up audio from the rear. But you've got different controls here. You've got your auxiliary start, which is like an emergency jump start switch. You got your generator start stop. And by the way, with the generator, this generator, when you hold it in the down position, that'll cycle on the fuel pump. So if you have it running for a while, you can prime the fuel pump. You got your fog lights enable, disable, the radio enable. So if you turn on the radio, you turn it from here and then you have power at the radio. Your dash fans, so the defrosting fans are blasting on me now, and they're 2-speed, so that's high, low, or off. Your ice cold dash air conditioning, and you've got these 12-volt cigarette light air outputs. Now here's an RV quick tip. When I go on my camping trips, I like to plug in a little 12-volt power inverter so I can plug in my 110-volt equipment. That works really good. You have a second power port right here on the left side of the dash. And on these Ford chassis with a V10, this has a 362 horsepower, the more powerful engine. And you've got your menu controls, so you can check 135 miles to empty. Now I bought this RV with 6,000 miles on it. It now has 9,400 miles because I drove it from Florida to California. So this had 6,000 miles on it. It's now increased. So as we toggle through, there's the trip meter, says it was 3,180 mile trip. 81 degrees in the shop here. 135 miles to empty, and then we can go through and we can do a system check, and by pressing reset it'll do a system check. It says engine temp okay, trans temp okay, brake fluid level okay, 135 miles to empty. It does a full system check. Now these little orange and red lights are on because the engine is off, because we're inside a building. We're not going to run the engine inside a closed building. We don't want to carbon monoxide ourselves. Your rotating headlight switch here, so once you buy this motorhome, you just turn it to the right to turn on the headlights, turn it off. Power mirror controls. You might be surprised, but a lot of big Class A motorhomes like this do not have power windows, but this one does, and the little red switch above is heat, so if you're in the wintertime and your mirrors are iced up, you can defrost them. Over here on the left side is a fully automatic leveling jacks. So by turning on the leveling jacks, I will tell you, I personally prefer to manually level, which means I push and hold the manual button, and then I can raise the left side or the right side. Where that's convenient is you pull to a scenic turnout on the side of the road, and then maybe the RV is leaning to the left or leaning to the right, so I'll level just one side. What you never want to do is lift the tires off the ground if you can avoid it. There's cup holders around. There's actually a cup holder down here that we added, so you've got a nice floor cup holder next to the driver's position, so you can keep a cup down there, and if you don't need it, it folds away and it blends in. While we're up here in the front, I always like to tell people about the tow haul mode. So with the key on, there's a little button on the side of the gear selector. It says tow haul. So if I push that on, the tow haul light comes on. Now when you're driving with tow haul on, that'll be the only warning light you have, to let you know you're in tow haul mode, and you want to use that a lot with one of these big RVs. Even if you're not towing a trailer, you're hauling a big RV. So tow haul mode, when you drive in the mountains, it makes life easy. So for example, here's what happens. You're driving in the mountains, you're going up the switchbacks to go see the beautiful scenic area. If you turn on tow haul mode, it gives you more power and it shifts the transmission at a higher RPM for more power going up. Okay, now you go over the top of the hill and you're coming down in the big heavy RV coming down a hill. Well, when you're in tow haul mode, this is where the real dream comes true. With tow haul mode on, as soon as you touch the brake, the transmission will automatically downshift to a lower gear. In the old days, like back in 2004 and older, with the RVs and cars, you used to have to do a dance with a gear selector here, lowering and raising the gears, you know, to keep the speed from building up coming down hills. Otherwise, you'll be riding your brakes down the hill, and your brake pedal is not a Disneyland ride, so you want to not touch it as much as you can avoid it. But by using tow haul mode, you can go down steep 5% grades with barely touching the brake pedal on the way down, and that's a good safety tip. Of course, we also have the cruise control up here. We have your windshield wipers on the stock, and then we have our hazard lights as well. Now, the upholstery in this RV has been redone by us. We've taken it to an upholstery shop. Unfortunately, on almost all of these newer RVs, doesn't matter what brand, they're all doing it because of EPA, the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, and the requirement that they use low volatile organic compounds when they make materials. That's the reason. It's clean air rules limits what kind of solvents they can use when they make this kind of material. So we've replaced it with a marine grade ultra vinyl or ultra leather material. It's very good stuff. It's two-tone. That is done with two-tone, because what happens is you buy your $125,000 RV. That's what this one would cost new if you pay sticker price. $125,000 plus tax, another $115,000, another $15,000 on top, and then 4 years later, the seats start flaking off from exposure to the sun. So because to avoid that, we've reupholstered it with a marine grade vinyl like you would use in boats, and you have these shade. You want to keep it closed when you're storing the RV so the sun doesn't beat down on your interior. So we also redid the full U-dinette with all new materials, so when you sit in here, and it's a ultra leather type material, so it doesn't absorb water. You jump in here with wet swimsuits, it's not going to hurt anything. It's very nice. So talking about the sleeping arrangement, this U-shaped dinette, this bed goes down and fits here, and then this tabletop mounts right here when you take the pole out, and it turns it into a big bed. The cushions rearrange. These big cushions come out, and you can set these up on the dashboard so they're out of the way, and it makes into a bed. And this one, I'm going to demonstrate how this turns into a bed here real quick as I set my camera down carefully, and you just lift this out of the way and set it to the side. Lift the cushion up, flip this down, put this cushion back down here, and voila, now you have a queen size bed that you can make up for your guests. So let's look at how many positions we have for sleeping, and we'll talk about the electric bed too. So you got queen bed 2, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10 possible sleeping positions. There are only 8 seat belts in here, but it's theoretically possible you could sleep 10 on beds. And interestingly enough, there's room for an inflatable air mattress down here. So you might even, if you did the air mattress thing, or roll a cot down on the floor there, you could sleep an 11th person if you want to cram people in here that tight. It'd be really cramped, but it's theoretically possible. It actually might be less cramped than some of the shorter bunkhouse RVs, like the C-Class, for example. So let's have a look at the electric front bed. So that's hidden from small children. The controls are anyways up in this compartment, which is dark because it's inside, but the switch is right there. And then we just press the button, hold it down, and it lowers this down. As it drops down to its minimum position, it's just sitting on top of the steering wheel there, just barely to the steering wheel height. And then this is as low as it goes, and you're ready to load some kiddos up there, and they can climb up there and make a bed. It's netted so they don't fall off the backside, so it is secure in here. And then when you're done camping, you just hit the controls to raise it up. If I push the button, it lifts back up out of the way. Now the ladders are stowed underneath in the basement right now, but it has these racks right here where you can hook the ladder up to it. So kids can climb up. I'll include that in my pictures. But it's a nice setup. And of course, if it's high enough, you can still sit here. Let's see how much head clearance we have. You could lower it down another foot or so. So theoretically, it might be possible to sit here while the bed is in a partially down position. When it comes down, the cabinets come with it, so that it's extra privacy in this area. And then of course you have that curtain for privacy as well. I don't want my video to get too long. They tend to get too long, but I'm going to point out this has a Korean countertops with a recessed stainless steel sink. It has a water saving tip on here, but you can unscrew this tip and get full blast if you have need for a lot more water. So if you want full blast, you can go down here and really move some water. So pump out a lot of water. We don't want to fill up my tanks while I'm inside the building, but it produces quite a lot of water, especially if you're hooked up at the campground. So also, I forgot to point out, behind here we've got lights under the cabinet, and you've got the LED backsplash. We can turn on the lights on the microwave for additional light. And the cooktops, these stow behind, but I'm going to tell you a warning. This has an edge on it. The edge always goes in the front, and the flat one always put it behind. That's so you don't accidentally shear off the front edge. I've seen that done on other motorhomes. It hasn't happened to this one, but always put this little edge in the front. Stainless steel cooktop, professionally been cleaned, so if we turn on the fire, it lights right away. 3-burner cooktop, all 3 lit on the first try. Turn off the light so you see it better. Very nice RV, very clean. You can get this thing and head straight for the campground on the first day. Just stop and get your food and your clothes. That's all you need. You're so ready to go. This is a turnkey unit, no repairs required. Get in and go camp. A lot of this type of RV are being desired right now, and I looked last night on the internet. I only saw 3 of them were available in the whole country. So this one's been gone through. Very desirable. If you want to do it, give me a call. Let me know. It could be financed. We're going to go wrap it up by showing the outside. As we're wrapping up here, I'm going to show you this really trick option that this RV comes with. This is several $100 for one of these. It is called a Venturi exhaust, so it has a hot exhaust that deflects and lets cooler air lift your exhaust up above the roof line of the RV, so people in your campground don't have to breathe the carbon monoxide fumes. It's really cool, especially if you're around water and things like that where people swim with light wind conditions. This is a great safety feature, and it also reduces the noise. Now I have the cargo compartment open so you can see how it connects to the generator. It slides in and you put a pin in to lock it on, and it has some straps to support it to the side of the RV to stabilize it. But it lets the hot exhaust just float straight up. Here's the product label right here, Venturi. So it's actually a pretty impressive piece of equipment there, especially if you're gonna take your RV near wet locations. And the reason why carbon monoxide fumes tend to float down as they cool off, but this is like a smokestack. It blows them up straight into the air where they can float away and rise off away from the campsite. So that's the purpose of this device. So I've come up here to the roof of the 35BH to show you the roof. It's like brand new. It has a full fiberglass composite roof here. So this is not a soft roof. It has a fiberglass layer on the top, wrapping over the sides. Sealed on the front and back. Dual roof air conditioners because you have that more powerful 5500 watt generator. This is the top of your power awning. It's in good condition. These are the quieter Dometic roof air conditioners running here, blowing cold, both of them. And then we have translucent vent covers. These vent covers are a big deal. When I showed you inside, this is what I'm talking about. See, these vent covers, they keep rain and debris and from entering the coach. If you leave your vent open, forget, or on purpose, it keeps it from going in. And as we catch the glare, this is a fiberglass roof. You can see the reflections of the glass fibers. It's a little windy. And then you have slide topper awnings on top of the slide outs. Both slide out awnings are in good shape. The purpose of the slide topper awning is not for shade necessarily for yourself, but for your slide out. It keeps the sun off. But if you have your slide open in the winter and it starts snowing, or in the fall when leaves start falling out of the trees, they just fall on top of the awning, so when it rolls in they just drop to the ground. You don't have to climb up with a broom and sweep off the top before you run the slide in if you have the awnings on top, like this one. And your rear air conditioner, we just had the roof cleaned, so I'm walking here with no shoes on because it's really clean up here. But we had something good to work with. This is a really good condition RV. So let's go back down. So we're going to take a look underneath this Mirada 35BH 2016. Inspect the chassis underneath, the tow hitch and things like that. So let's have a look as we wrap up this video. Starting in the back here, we have the V5 tow hitch, which is rated for 5,000 pound trailers. It is possible to put a heavier hitch or double up the hitches and have a trailer shop strengthen it up, but from the factory it has a 5,000 pound tow hitch. Underneath the chassis here, it's clean. It's very clean underneath. We're using a little light here. You've got the big propane tank, the leveling jacks, the fuel tank under here. This is an 80-gallon fuel tank underneath the RV. Trying to keep the shadows under control. So 80-gallon fuel tank, you got your leveling jacks, you got your tires. Let's inspect the tire tread. Tire treads are very thick. These are the Goodyear RV tires, and they have the valve stem extenders, so it's easy to check the air pressure without having to take wheels apart. Look at the axle, it's nice and clean. There's no rust or corrosion of anything to note. It's got the big heavy-duty rear anti-sway bar on the axle. Your exhaust and your drivetrain, your drive shaft, it's all in good condition. Your catalytic converter is present and accounted for. And then this has the automatic power step, double step, easy to get in and out of the RV. You got your stainless steel headers up there, and the front tire treads nice and thick, sidewalls in great condition. This RV only has 6,000 original miles on it, so the mileage is low. Up on the front here, it's clean and good order. Your radiator and everything looks all good. As we come up to the front here, these are steel compartments. These are not that flimsy roto-molded. These are strong metal compartments, and there's no rust under here. It looks like brand new under this rig, so it's not something that came out of a snow state or anything like that. Even underneath the floor plan, your floorboards are metal protected under here, or cargo compartments. It's all metal all the way across, steel and aluminum. Very nice coach. If you look under some cars, some RVs, you'll see nothing but rust. You might even find holes in compartments, but this is a nice clean unit. So we're gonna wrap it up. Now, thank you for watching my video. My name is Mike Johnson. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Now, to find out if this RV or something similar is available on my website, because I do leave the videos up, go to my website, mybestcar.com, and check what vehicles or RVs are available in stock. This video again was shot in July 2020 of the Coachmen Mirada. Thank you for watching.